I don't know if you're like me, but I want to lose a few pounds. And my goal is 5 to 10 pounds. And I'm small, so that much weight goes a long way. So we're post-holidays, but this will be good for any time of the year. And a lot of my friends don't join me in the whole weight loss thing. So I thought I'd be accountable by videotaping. Maybe some of you want to join me. And over here, I'm going to put some words about what I'm going to do. And it's just all in my head right now. I don't have it all planned out. But how I'm going to show you what I'm doing and being accountable. Mostly I'm going to be dairy-free, meat-free. I'm always meat-free anyway. But I'm also not going to do the occasional salmon. And gluten-free. And not much starch, but lots of vegetables, lots of fruit at first. And no added kinds of sugar. My only sugar will come from fruit originally, and then I'll even take a break from that for 3 or 4 weeks. Lemons are going to be in abundance, and a lot of really good nutrition, so nutrients in the food I'm going to eat to make sure I get enough nutrients, a balance of nutrients, and enough calories. This is not about being hungry. I don't like being overly hungry. And we might even be trying some foods that you don't normally eat. Certainly some of the things that I've tried in the past that have worked are foods that I don't always eat or didn't even really like, but I changed how I'm eating them. So let's get started, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Let's start off with what I'm going to eat in the morning. I start off every morning with 2 cups of water that has the juice of 1 lemon in it and a few drops of stevia. I prepare that the night before, and I also take it with a probiotic. And then green smoothies. So all morning green smoothies. Typically, I used to drink that green smoothie while I got ready for work, but now I take it with me in a take-long cup and drink it after I get to work. But then I usually get hungry before lunch, and so then you can have more smoothies, you can have more fruit. You can also keep some raw nuts handy, and raw nuts mean they're not cooked, they're not roasted, and they're not salted. You can salt them yourself, which is what I do, and I can show you that later. And you can also snack in the morning on vegetables such as carrot, celery, bell pepper, cucumber, tomatoes, things like that, if you want to bring them with you if you're going to work. So let me show you what the morning looks like in a little more detail. Getting ready to make my lemon water. I have a large cup with 2 cups of water in here. That's 16 ounces for those of you not in the United States. And then 1 lemon. Doesn't matter what kind of lemon you use. I don't like them to be too small because I like to get 1 or 2, the juice from 1 or 2 lemons in my diet every day. Lemons have a lot of really good enzymes. So here I actually found some Meyer lemons. These are very mild, and I'm using a bowl and a lemon reamer, and I'm just going to get the juice out of both halves. I like to get as much juice out of them as possible. I do not buy seedless lemons. So lemons that still have the seed in them are going to be the most healthy for you. The healthy people I follow, this is what they do. So then I use a small strainer and put all of that lemon into there. And I like to get every last bit of juice out. Then I take some liquid stevia that has a dropper in it, and I just put a few drops. Stevia, S-T-E-V-I-A. This is the New Naturals brand. So try different brands to see what you like. You won't get any extra calories. You notice I don't use sugar in this, but I don't want to not use a sweetener. So now I'm going to show you what I do with this, because like I said, I make this the night before because I don't have time in the morning to make this. So the night before, I put the lemon water into the master bathroom, and I also get a probiotic, and I have this little dish that I keep in here for this, because again, I don't have time to go running into the kitchen to grab it, because most of the probiotics basically need to be in the refrigerator. But I have this little dish. This is one of those little dishes that you put soy sauce in for sushi, and I got these at an Asian store. So I just put one in here, and that's here in the morning. Now I get up very early in the morning. I get up at 4:30. Why? Because I exercise first, and before I go to exercise, I have to do all this stretching. So I drink this whole thing with the probiotic. However, if I get up in the middle of the night, I don't drink the lemon water because I don't want the lemon juice in my teeth at night. So I keep another glass of water in the master bathroom to drink in the middle of the night. I don't drink tap water unless it's filtered, so this is all filtered water, which I highly recommend you use as well. So that's my very early morning routine, but I do it the night before to get ready because I don't have time. 4:30 in the morning is awfully early. In several other videos on this channel, I show you how to make smoothies. I make them ahead of time and put them in a sealed container. These are Tupperware cups. I don't think they make this kind anymore, which is too bad because they're really nice. But you need to keep it in an airtight container. You'll notice this isn't completely opaque, but with the refrigerator door closed most of the time, it's not going to get a whole lot of light. And then these actually have a place to put a straw on the top, and I can easily do that. Now when I take them out in the morning, you notice I have a couple in here, I'll open up the lid and stir it with a spoon. This holds 16 ounces, 2 cups, and I drink a minimum of that every morning. So look on this channel for other videos on how to make green smoothies in particular, because these are going to have different kinds of greens in them. These are my probiotics that I keep in the refrigerator. I also keep my lemons in the refrigerator, by the way, even though they're a fruit, but just to keep them fresh. And I do buy them in large quantities. Here is one more morning idea that really surprised me. I know you're looking at a bunch of celery. Now, I don't really like celery all that much, but this really works in the morning. So at the first point that you start to feel hungry, rather than going for the smoothie right away, get yourself 1 stalk of celery, clean it off, chop off the ends, and eat it. Now, when you eat it, you need to take 1 bite and then chew it completely until there's almost nothing left in your mouth. Surprisingly, when you do this in the morning, the celery has a lot of water in it, and you'll taste the salt in it, and it will help to curb your hunger. So like I said, you got to chew each bite completely until there's almost nothing left in your mouth before you swallow, and then take the next bite. And then if it's still really early in the morning and you need a second stalk, go ahead and eat a second stalk. But it surprisingly curbs the hunger in the morning before doing the smoothie. Now, another alternative is a recipe for oat groat cereal, which is also on this channel. So look that up, how to make oat groat cereal, and you can eat that instead of a smoothie if that would be your choice. And also, I go to the oat groat cereal, and possibly on some days instead of eating that, I'll eat 1 or 2 small slices of gluten-free toast. And I'll do that in the morning when I'm trying to get rid of all sugar. And when I'm trying to get rid of all sugar, I don't even eat fruit. And I'll do that for about 4 weeks to get all the sugar out of my system. So that's another great alternative to losing weight. And then if you go with the oat groat cereal or the gluten-free toast in the morning, definitely do 2 stalks of celery once you start to feel hungry in the morning. So if you work out in the morning like I do, you'll start feeling hungry once you get back and you take your shower and you start getting ready. And that's when I go for the first stalk of celery. And if I'm really hungry, I might do a second stalk of celery and then eat the oat cereal around 9 o'clock or the toast around 9 o'clock. And that helps me fill me up. And of course I'm drinking water, but it helps fill me up until lunch. Here's an alternative to using chips with salsa or chips with guacamole. Cut up some bell pepper into wedges and some cucumber into slices and use those as the chips instead. And when you're buying salsa, look for something that's really fresh. Check out the ingredients. This brand you're only going to find in the Chicago area at a couple of farmers markets, and they also recently started selling at Mariano's Simply Salsa. It's really good. Mild, medium, and hot. And then I like these little packets of guacamole. I usually don't have time to make it on my own. This way, if you just want a little something, you can open 1 packet, but if you're feeding a crowd, you can open a bunch of them. So it's a way to save on calories and not be eating those chips. If you're a pasta lover and will miss your wheat-based pasta, but you want to go gluten-free, you can lighten up by going with a quinoa pasta or brown rice pasta. This brown rice spaghetti style is actually very good. It's not like the older brown rice pastas used to be, or they make quinoa pasta in these other little shapes, and that can give you your pasta fix. But I also want to talk about sauce, marinara sauce. Okay, let's talk about that next. The thing about store-bought marinara sauce is that you have to look at the ingredients because so many of them have sugar in them, and more sugar than you would imagine. So always check the ingredients. Don't buy the ones that have a lot of sugar, or make your own. I've even purchased crushed tomatoes, which it's just plain tomatoes. There's no sugar or salt added. And then I use my own store-bought also tomato paste that comes in glass, and I'll saute some onions and mushrooms and then add the crushed tomatoes and some tomato paste and cook that up, and then add the spices, the different Italian spices in that. So that keeps the sugar out and keeps the calories down. So again, this is a way to get a little bit of pasta fix, and I'm going to give you one other idea real quick. This is a spaghetti squash, and on this channel I do have a recipe that shows you how to steam a spaghetti squash. You're going to actually cut it in half, scrape out the seeds, and then put it upside down in a steamer basket for 30 minutes, but just watch the water level to make sure you don't run out of water. And then you use a fork to pull the squash out, and it comes out in strands like spaghetti. So then you're not even, when you're eating this like spaghetti with spaghetti sauce on it, then you're getting the nutrients of this vegetable instead of going with a grain-based pasta. So just another idea to try. For lunches, I'm mostly going to stick to a raw lunch. So here I have a salad that has romaine and cucumbers and red onion and some little yellow cherry tomatoes and some avocado. I'm also going to put in some sunflower seeds after I soak them in a little water over here. I'm going to get rid of that water. Soaking seeds and nuts ahead of time removes the enzyme. There's an enzyme inhibitor on nuts and seeds, and soaking them removes the enzyme inhibitor. Excuse me. I also have some bell pepper slices, and then I had some red pepper hummus. Now, of course, that's cooked because the chickpeas are cooked. So that's the only cooked thing I have here. So because it's winter, I might also have some soup, but I'm a little more picky about my soup. And I don't like to, I mostly make my own soup, so that way I control the salt in it. So the other thing that I'll be looking at, and want to just suggest some videos on my channel here for you to look at, are my kale salad video. That's delicious. So is the gazpacho soup. That's a cold soup that's very healthy. And then try to find some healthy salad dressings. Now I have a vinaigrette on here that's just some white balsamic vinegar plus some little bit of olive oil mixed up and then poured on. On this channel I also have a mangoed basil vinaigrette dressing recipe, but there are lots of dressing recipes online that are really healthy, even some that don't have oil in them. So some other videos you could see on this channel are my almond milk video, how to make it, but you can also, more and more this is becoming available cheaper, like at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods brand, where you can get a whole half gallon of the unsweetened or the unsweetened vanilla that's delicious. I like it a lot better than soy milk or rice milk. Also, I have a recipe on this channel, a video on how to make sesame seed milk, which is interesting. Has a lot of good protein in it. And I also show you how to make a dairy-free milkshake, which is delicious. So that video is on here too. So please check out those videos. On all of my food and cooking videos on this channel now, in the description, I've either put the word healthy in the description, which means it's a healthy recipe, or I put fun and not so healthy, because I do have some recipes on this channel that are not so healthy. So take a look at that. But please, if you're going to join me in some of this weight loss and healthy nutrition journey, feel free to put a comment below, and let's see if we can lose some weight and keep our energy up and keep our nutrition up and not get sick while we're doing it. All right, and let's have some fun and eat some delicious food at the same time.